All right, we're going to take a few brief moments to just discuss some of the words used in geometry to classify triangles. There's all kinds of them, and so we need to have ways to categorize them. First one we're going to look at is just basically looking at angles. Oops. Okay, we're going to look at the angles on these things. Now, we know that angles and triangles all add up to 180 degrees all the way around the interior. Okay? But just by looking at these, if we can identify one feature, we can classify it as a certain type. So, for example, if you see one of those anywhere in the triangle, means there's a 90-degree angle somewhere, we call that a right triangle. Okay? If you happen to see all the angles, they don't have to be the same, okay? They can be completely different, but if all the angles are less than 90 degrees, then we're going to call this acute. Okay? And if we happen to see one angle, like let's say this one here was 110 degrees, one angle that's bigger than 90, somewhere in the triangle, we call it obtuse. Now there's one other type of way we could classify angles, and that's to say we have an equiangular triangle, which just means all the angles are equal. But these are the ones that are commonly misunderstood or set in the wrong place, used to classify the wrong type of triangle. Now as we move over to the right, we're not going to look at angles anymore, we're going to look at side lengths. How long are the sides? If you get a triangle that happens to have all three sides the same, and by the way, you don't have to measure these to know, if you get these little markings, one marking here, one marking here, and one marking there, that means that those little dashed lines mean that each one of those sides is the same exact length measurement. And that's what we call an equilateral. Which is not real hard to figure out. Equa means equal, and lateral means sides, equal sides. Now, what if we only have a triangle where two of the sides are the same, but then one of the sides is kind of an oddball out, it doesn't really fit? Well, if this is the same as this, we got two sides are the same anywhere in the triangle, that's called isosceles. Okay? And we're going to notice that a lot. It's very helpful when you see these and recognize it, because it gives you a lot of measurements that maybe aren't written there. Okay? And then what if we get a triangle where nothing's the same? And this happens frequently. You got all three sides, and none of them are the same. Okay? That is called scalene. Okay? And what you're going to have to do in this class is learn to classify them in both ways. So when you see a triangle drawn, you have to think about these words right here and say, okay, how would I describe its angles? And then think about these words and say, how would I describe its sides? So you could have a acute isosceles triangle. You could have an obtuse scalene triangle. Okay? There's all kinds of different combinations of these that you could have.